So first of all, let's talk about the hungbao lottery. A lot of people were complaining that there weren't enough coins being given out in challenges, and I completely agree with that. What Pixonic did was very trash, They gave us such an epic lottery experience and didn't give free-to-play players really a chance to be in it very much. I mean, I'm pretty sure out of the entire thing, out of the entire event, we got 30 coins total. That's not very great, and considering the chances of getting a bot or weapon, I don't think that was a good idea. And also, let's be honest, I don't trust Pixonic with gambling systems, because in gambling systems, they can do some pretty shady things. So, I don't think that free-to-play players really had a chance to actually get any of these weapons. But I do have to say, they stepped it up with the giveaways. So if you were a free-to-play player and you got on one of these live streams or whatever, they gave away hundreds of weapons. On one of the live streams, they actually gave away 600, weapons. That's insane. And others, they gave away a couple hundred smaller giveaways. And I'm happy about that, because the media is kind of what makes War Robots a huge thing. I've never seen mobile games really have this huge media community. And they came together and they were like, all right, we're going to give away some of these to live streams and really boost content creators like Adrian Chong and Manny Gaming on their subscribers. And I was really happy for that. And, guys, if you don't win these, the chances of winning them aren't too huge. They gave away, again, hundreds, if not even thousands of weapons. So your chances are okay, but it's never guaranteed. So if you don't win one, don't flip out, okay? Don't rage. Don't get angry at Pixonic. But they did give away some of these. I know people, and this is not a lie, they don't just put down random names and then just say, oh yeah, we gave these away, but the actual names and whatever, no one actually gets any weapons. No, this is actually real. I know people who have gotten stuff from giveaway, which is huge. In terms of paying for the hungbao lottery, if you paid for $10, you had a pretty great chance of getting a weapon or a bot. I was excited about this because we've seen before in the past, about a year and a half ago or so, they just charged $200 for a robot and a weapon, and now you can just pay $10 or whatever, and you have a huge chance of actually getting a weapon. I was really excited about that. That's really insane. If you paid $10, some people actually got these weapons, and it was a very great chance. $10 really is not that bad compared to the Aries and crap that came out where it was $100 and there was almost no other way to get these. So the fact that you can buy a weapon, and it may not be your choice, for a calamity, you may be looking for a calamity and you might get a marques or an Aojun or whatever, but wow. And I have to say the weapons and robots that came out were pretty good. The AO Quin, and marques, of course, are not the most powerful weapons that you'd want to get, but the Aojun, AO guang, the flamethrower, oh my goodness, I cannot remember the name, and the calamity were very meta-level weapons that you could win for $10. You cannot beat that, guys. And let's talk more about the weapons. So, what I'm happy about is because I'm always trying to think about the lower level players, We always sometimes get so caught up in the Champion League gameplay, and there are many issues in Champion League, but we always have to really kind of focus on the lower level players because they are the 90% of the player base. And the fact that they made 2 new robots and weapons is great because I don't think that there's enough diversity in kind of that mid-range of bots. I think the lower leagues shouldn't be complicated, the bronze, the private leagues shouldn't be complicated with a bunch of bots, but I think the mid-leagues kind of needed some more bots to play with. So the AO Quin was a pretty cool bot. It kind of introduced the idea of a built-in weapons, and that's what Pixonic is kind of doing now. They're just, instead of, putting, because there's all these different slot combinations of weapon slots, and they've kind of run out, because there's so many bots, they're just kind of putting in built-in weapons instead of adding in a bunch of new weapons. They can just put in a built-in kind of ember or whatever into a bot, and I'm excited that the AO Quin kind of introduced that concept to the middle league players. It had that lightning bolt that we saw, the red lightning bolt, so I'm happy to see that. What else? Yeah, and then we saw the bolt. The bolt came in, and that introduces dash. Dash currently is a very viable thing in the game. You know, you're going to see it in the higher level play, and you just want to introduce some of the stuff as much as you can to the lower and middle leagues so that they're prepared to come into Champion League and understand all these intricate concepts into the game. So I'm happy that, you know, the Bolt was a 1,000 gold bot that you could buy, and it had a little bit of a dash drive, so maybe they'll know how, when you get up into the higher leagues and you get your Striders, your Kamui-Hos, your Heichis, your Bulgasauris, you're going to understand how to operate that effectively. But what I was not happy about, like I said, that free-to-play players were not represented very much in the hungbao lottery. Number one, the daily tasks were like 2 coins, and they were pretty easy to get. And then the ones that were like 12 coins were insanely hard. For one, I estimated you had to get first through third and win in 30 matches. Now, the chance of that is 1 in 4 if you kind of average it out and whatever. So, on average, you're going to have to play 120 matches to be able to get that reward? No, that... What? And for 12 coins, and the chance of you actually getting a bot or weapon, there's a huge chance that you're just going to get 50 components. So I was not happy about that. The daily task, they should just give us something to participate. And they just kind of ended the event early. Like, there's 6 days left in the event, and I've not seen I've not seen the tasks for the lottery in a few days. So they just ended it early for free-to-play players. And I'm not happy about that. But again, I cannot say the deal that they gave some of the pay-to-win players was insane. They didn't break the people's pocketbooks this time with a $100 bot or weapon. Let's talk skirmishes. So, the skirmishes that I found were not great. I was not too excited about kind of the skirmishes that came into the game this time around. There was the no weapons skirmish, which of course is a novelty item, and it had like no weapons, but you had the built-in weapons and stuff like that, and they were boosted. That was just a novelty item. It wasn't really fun to play around with. It was just not that fun, you know. Not very intense gameplay, which you really want in a skirmish. The Dragon Bots skirmish, where they had all the Dragon Bots and weapons, was okay. I wasn't a big fan. You know, the Ares, and again, it just showed how powerful the Ares was, because they put an Ares in there, and it was kind of like an instant triple kill every single time, for me. So I was not a fan of that. And now we have the new skirmish, which is the dragon weapons and stuff, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of this one. This one was actually really fun, in my opinion, and it gave us a lot of damage. Like, I'm getting 1.7 million rounds, and players, because there's just a lot of intense battling going on. And this is a fun one for me. I really like it. It's a good break from the intense WR Champion League battles that I'm kind of used to at this point. And let's talk the 12-person skirmish that they came out with. Oh my god, the 12-person skirmish was really fun. I did not think that the servers could handle it, but they actually handled it pretty well. 12 persons in an FFA match, I did not think was really possible. I thought that there would be a lot of lag, and I know that there's 12-person battles, of course, in regular... in a regular Beacon Rush battle or whatever, but in a FFA where everyone's just kind of fighting each other, I thought that it would just be too intense and the servers would lag out. And I did experience some lag, of course, more lag than usual, but it was handled very well, and I did like that FFA version. Some people got 3 million damage rounds and stuff like that, which is fun to see. And the bots and weapons that were featured in there, and this was the first time that modules were ever put in. And in modules, when they put them into skirmishes, of course they're balanced, but in the real matches, the real game, they're not. And I want to talk about that. 4.7 update. Now again, there was a really downer. The hungbao lottery was not great for free-to-play players. Good for pay-to-win players, of course. So that was kind of a little bit of downer for the majority of the player base, because the majority of the player base does not pay. But what was really exciting for me was the 4.7 update that just came just before the oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought. The Lunar New Year event came out. That was really exciting. We saw a second grand rebalancing, which I was excited about, and this was very fine-tuning, very like 10-20% here, and then we just saw a huge Hellburner nerf, which I think was needed. I think it was a little bit extreme, though, how they handled it, but I think the Hellburner nerf was needed, and I'm not going to complain hugely about that. So basically what happened was they rebalanced everything, and they gave us a nice upgrade time reduction, which definitely helped out grinders and stuff that play for hours every day, because now their upgrade times are kind of much less, so you can focus on much more upgrades if you're grinding. So I was happy to see that Hellburner go. I own a Hellburner, so for me it was bittersweet, but I understand that full squads were dominating with the spot, and towards the end they were running 2 and 3 Hellburners and just getting to our spawn in 1 minute. And of course that's how full squads work, but it was just insanely overpowered. So that was great. And I'm trying to get my matches in right now, because after the Lunar New Year event, War Robots is not going to be so great. Sadly, they announced usually the Ares will come out the Ares should have come out 2 months after the its release into the live server, but they were making money, of course. They are a company, they're trying to make as much money as possible, so they decided, to extend it and put it out into the Lunar New Year event. So I'm trying to play my battles right now as much as I can, because I know after that the game's probably going to go to hell, because what's happening is the Ares is going to come out into Workshop, and the 90% of the player base that doesn't pay is going to have access to it, and you're going to see Ares everywhere. And eventually we all know it's going to get nerfed, of course, but that gameplay is not going to be fun for me, because I know that Ares will just be everywhere and destroy everything. It's going to be the new Spectre. I'm not trying to, say like, oh, it's the apocalypse. They're eventually going to nerf it, of course, but I truly hope that you guys don't put 5 Ares in your hangar or whatever. I might get one, of course, when it comes out into the Workshop, but I'm not going to hopefully put up, unless everyone's doing it, I'm not going to put 5 Ares in my hangar. So just, watch out for that. You're going to see, 4 times as many Ares probably in random matches in the Champion Leagues. So, what I think they can improve, number 1, the skirmishes. I did like even though the novelty skirmish was the one with the no weapons, it was a novelty, of course, but I don't think novelty skirmishes are really needed. You want fun, intense gameplay that is very different from just regular battles, but that was just not very intense, not a very fun skirmish in my opinion. So yeah, definitely kind of boost up on those skirmishes, put a little bit more focus effort into those. The hungbao lottery, you need to give free-to-play players definitely more tokens to use, and keep up with those giveaways. So, the hungbao lottery is really a downer, because this was the major event. You could buy weapons for the first time. Usually, you at least had a chance of getting these weapons. And that has not happened in the previous updates. You have not been able to get them in, the Viper and, the Ares and stuff like that. You were not able to get those without paying, or you could get them from the gold chest, which is near impossible, unlikely. So, that was a little bit of a downer for me, that we didn't really have as much of a say in the hungbao lottery, and that was the main part of this event, guys, the hungbao lottery, and now it's gone. Oh my god, we got 30 tokens to use. Insanely stupid. So, definitely boost that up. That was a real downer for me, and everything else was pretty good, and just kind of boost up those skirmishes. And then I think that this event was very great, but hungbao, so I'm going to have to give this a rating overall for events as a 5. Events should be a fun time to get people into the game, but the hungbao lottery was the main part, and it was honestly a bust for free-to-play players. So that's why I'm giving it a 5, because that was such a... I didn't mention that enough, I guess, in this video, and I guess I kind of messed up with that, but, it was a major part, and it was a real downer for most players. So, don't go insane. This was possibly one of the best events Pixonic has made in the past year or so, because you can actually get the bots for the first time, and the deals they had were unlike any other. So, oh my god, guys, I forgot something. The dragon weapons, the skins that they had, that's really cool. And again, it's a novelty item. That's something that, if you get them, you're going to have for the next couple years, and it's something that no one else will have. It's going to be cool. I think if you guys have those dragon weapons, something you can kind of brag to your friends or whatever. Oh yeah, I have a dragon weapon from 5 years ago or whatever. But that's really cool. So I'm glad Pixonic did that. I'm actually happy with how they turned out. But again, that hungbao lottery. Oh my god, guys, it's really annoying, honestly, that it was such a cool event, and then they just kind of put a downer with us only getting like 30 tokens to use. Alright, so I'm kind of blabbering on at this point, so I'm going to end the video right here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day, guys. And please like and subscribe, honestly. It always helps out my channel, as you know, and I'm really trying to get to 200 subscribers.
Go, 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 go.